If you are a portrait photographer, then you know the importance of being able to shape your light. Now, I've been using Glow Easy Lock modifiers exclusively for 3 years. So in this video, I want to give you 5 pros and 5 cons on the Glow Easy Lock line of modifiers. Now, before I get into that, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any future videos. And before you step outside of this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button for me. It really does help the channel. Now, without further ado, let's jump right in. Pro number 1 is the price. The price of the Glow Easy Lock line of modifiers ranges from $69 to $109. So they're really affordable and they're within reach for most photographers. Now, to put that into perspective, when you look at the modifiers from other brands such as Westcott, Profoto, Broncolor, those brands on average cost 2 to 3 times more than the Glow line of modifiers. So the pricing of the Glow Easy Lock line makes the modifiers accessible to most photographers, where some of the other brands are a bit cost prohibitive. Pro number 2 is the included accessories. Now, with all of the Glow Easy Lock line of modifiers, with the exception of the lantern, they come with the outer diffusion, the inner diffusion, a deflector plate, and a 40-degree grid. So when you take into account the pricing of the modifier and you're getting all of these accessories, it really is a bargain. Now, to put that into perspective, if we look at the Westcott modifier, the modifier itself is $245, but it doesn't include a grid and it doesn't include a deflector plate, as is the case with most of the other brands as well. So the grid for the Westcott modifier is $229 and the plate is another $30. So it puts it a little bit above $500. So when you look at that price, for the price of one Westcott with the accessories that come with the Glow line of modifiers, you could purchase 6 Glow Easy Lock modifiers for that one price. Pro number 3 is the ease of operation. Now, depending upon what modifier you get, it's either going to have a click and lock mechanism or it's going to have a post and thread. But whichever one it is, setting it up and taking it down is very easy, very quick, very efficient. Now, in the world of photography and videography, time is money. So when you're going on location or when you're moving from one location to another, being able to set up your modifier and tear down your modifier quickly is key. And with the Glow Easy Lock line, it is very fast. It really is nice to be able to have the umbrella style of modifier that is very quick to set up. Pro number 4 has to be the selection. There is such a wide selection of Glow Easy Lock modifiers. They have octas, they have deep paras, they have strip boxes, regular rectangular soft boxes, lanterns, umbrellas, wing light umbrellas. They have a ton of options. And going back to shaping the light, as a photographer, being able to have the right and precise tool to be able to get the look that you want is key. And with the Glow Easy Lock line, there's such a wide array of options that whatever look you're going for, however you want to shape that light, there likely is a modifier to help you get the job done. And pro number 5 is durability. Now, some of my modifiers I have opened and closed hundreds of times, and that is not an exaggeration, and they continue to work flawlessly without any signs of wear and tear. I have used these modifiers in some pretty rough and tough conditions, windy conditions, at the beach, you name it. I've used them in those locations and they have held up very well. So there you have the pros, but with the pros always come cons because nothing is perfect. So let's jump into con number 1, and that is durability. Now, I know what you're thinking. I just mentioned durability in the Pro, so how could durability be a con as well? Well, I decided to put this on the list because the reality is at this price point, it's very likely that these modifiers technically are not as durable as some of the other more expensive brands. It's just the reality of it. A higher cost means that they can use higher quality material, and higher quality material typically leads to better durability. So although I've personally not really had any issues with durability of these modifiers, I felt like I should at least add it to the list of cons, because at the price point of these modifiers, they do have to cut somewhere to be able to get the price point to what it is, and durability may suffer as a result of that. Con number 2 is the branding. The branding. If there was one thing that I dislike the most about the Glow Easy Lock line, it is the branding. It's way too big. It's on two sides of the modifier. Then you have the yellow piping that can be seen from a mile away. So when it comes to being discreet and not having your brand all over the place, these modifiers do fall short in that department. The branding is very obtrusive. Con number 3 is the silver interior lining. Now in the Glow Easy Lock line, the lining is smooth and shiny, whereas in some of the more expensive brands, it is the textured or pebbled interior. Now the benefit of the textured interior is that it helps to disperse the light more evenly, and having more evenly dispersed light means you're going to have less specular hot spots. So with the shiny material, if you're using these modifiers without any diffusion, you will typically have more specular hot spots on your subject. Now, of course, if you're using diffusion, that pretty much is neutralized and you don't really have to worry about it. But if you're using, for example, a beauty dish without any diffusion, that silver interior is going to be more specular. You are going to have a little bit more hot spots than you would with the textured and pebbled interior. Con number 4 is the interior baffle and how they chose to attach it to the modifier. Now, a lot of modifiers use Velcro. The Glow Easy Lock line use snaps, and for whatever reason, they use some of the most industrial strength snaps for these interior baffles that I've ever experienced in my entire life, and it makes it very cumbersome and somewhat difficult to get the interior baffle disconnected from the modifier. And because the material is so thin, it's very easy to completely pull the snap out of the material. I've done that twice myself. It would have been a lot easier and faster to just have the Velcro. Now, I know Velcro tends to wear out over time, but Velcro is also easy to replace. You could easily replace a Velcro strip in that modifier, whereas these snaps, not so much, especially in the diffusion material itself. Once you rip it out of there, it would be, I don't know how you would repair it yourself, to be quite honest. And snapping it in isn't really difficult, and it probably would take about the amount of time as it takes for Velcro. But taking it out, that's where the snaps really become a con. They're very difficult to unsnap. Even after snapping them and unsnapping them dozens and dozens of times, they just don't get easier. And so you have to really finesse unsnapping them to make sure you don't ruin the material, and it just takes a lot of time. So it would have been nice if they would have used Velcro instead of the snaps. And con number 5 is the size. And when I speak about the size, I'm referring to when the modifiers are collapsed, closed. Now, because all of the Glow Easy Lock line of modifiers have the Bowens mount, the Bowens mount is just a big mount. So when you have these modifiers closed, they take up a lot of space. So when it comes to traveling with these modifiers or just taking them to a job or to a photo shoot, they take up a lot of space, unfortunately. So for me, it's very difficult for me to travel with most of the modifiers because they don't fit in any of my suitcases, and I don't have a specific bag for modifiers, one that is long that can fit these modifiers. So this isn't anything that Adorama could do differently to make them smaller. The Bowens mount is the size of the Bowens mount. The modifier is the size of the modifier. Now, to be fair, other brands would likely be the same way. I'm certainly not saying that Glow has the largest size of collapsed modifiers over anyone else. Everyone else's modifiers would likely be the same size. So this con is really something that would apply to just about any brand, to be honest. So there you have it. I am a big advocate for Glow Easy Lock modifiers. As I mentioned, I have been using these modifiers exclusively for 3 years. I use them on professional jobs. I use them on collabs. I use them all the time, and they have never let me down. They work very well. I have a wide array of options. So whatever look I'm trying to get, I have a modifier that I can reach for to be able to get that look that I want. So if you are in the market for a modifier, I would highly recommend the Glow Easy Lock line. Out of all the times that I've used these modifiers, durability has never been a problem, and for the price, it really has allowed me to have a robust lineup of modifiers to be able to use and get the look that I am trying to get. So there you have it. On your way out the door, please smash that thumbs up button. It really does help the channel. And until the next video, take care.